The film opens with John and Jane talking to a marriage counselor. They reveal that they have been married for 5 or 6 years, but have reached an impasse. Their life together has become so boring that when the counselor asks them about their last sex, they can't even remember it. The counselor asks them to talk about how they first met, and then, with a flashback, it turns out that they met somewhere in Colombia for the first time. They pretend to be together to mislead the police, but it is the first time they have met each other. John introduces himself as a construction manager, while Jane explains her job as a technical support consultant. Still, both seem to be good at hiding their true jobs. That night, they gradually fall in love and spend a dreamy night together. When Jane wakes up the next morning, she doesn't see John next to her. Still, a few moments later, it becomes clear that he was preparing breakfast. It seems that they have a deep emotional feeling after last night. At a shooting station, when they start shooting, she shows that she doesn't know how to shoot. But after seeing that John hits the target with all his shots, she reveals what a skilled shooter she is. But she still does not reveal where she learned shooting. They fall so much in love that John insists he is in love against the advice of his best friend Eddie, who is trying to dissuade him from romance. While practicing boxing, John reveals that he even asked her to marry him. At the same time, while rock climbing with her friend Jasmine, Jane admits that her new boyfriend is perfect and describes John as a great contractor. Now, after 6 years, it seems that they are experiencing a boring life together, so even their conversations are hardly possible. And in most cases, they end in just a few minutes. According to the routine, both go to work every morning, and Jane returns home earlier than John at night to prepare dinner. Usually their taste in the details and arrangement of the house is not the same. On the other hand, John doesn't like her cooking and forcefully eats dinner. And since Jane's cooking is usually without salt, he is always forced to add salt to his food. One day, John goes to the marriage counselor alone and explains that although he loves her, sometimes he can't stand her. Also, Jane believes that in her life with John, there was a big distance between them, and they only apparently got married. Their secrets are soon revealed, and it turns out that both of them are professional agents who fulfill the demands of the agencies they work with.
We got a plane in an hour.
All right.
Let's play some poker!
You know what happens to bad boys?
You are the job.
They are the best in their job, and due to their combat skills, they never miss a target. Since the Smiths work as undercover agents, they try to keep up appearances and therefore often attend the gatherings and parties of their rich neighbors to make everything seem normal. They try their best to hide their real job. Even when they sleep, their conversation is shortened to just a few minutes, and there is no romantic feeling between them anymore. They hide their advanced weapons and gadgets in a safe place at home without the other knowing their existence. John is the manager of an engineering company and has made it a cover for his crimes. One day, he receives a mission from his superiors in which he has to kill a person nicknamed the Tank, who is being transferred as a DIA prisoner. At the same time, Jane gets a mission to kill a person named Benjamin. After knowing the coordinates of his presence, Jane goes to the desert where she is supposed to do her mission. She places explosives in the path of her target and waits until the time comes. Suddenly, John arrives with his Jeep, disrupting her plans. Jane can't see his face and thinks he's a civilian, but they both seem to have the same target. Moments later, Jane realizes that he is armed, so she shoots him, but he survives thanks to the bulletproof vest. While the target is approaching the field, this time John sees her and shoots at Jane's hideout with an improvised weapon. And in the meantime, the target for which they were supposed to kill him is lost. After that, John meets Eddie at the restaurant and explains to him that his mission was destroyed by a girl, and the only clue to find her is a laptop. Jane, while slightly injured by the explosion, angrily demands that the videos of the incident be made available to her. The head of the company calls her and asks her to immediately find and kill that person, and she has only 48 hours to do it. Otherwise, she will be killed according to the regulations of her company. John takes the laptop to his friend to find a clue, and by checking the contents of its memory, he finds an address in New York.
Upgraded RAM module. 570 Lexington Avenue, Suite 5003. New York.
He follows the address and reaches a building where it is impossible to enter without going through security, so he thinks of finding a plan. Moments later, he comes across Jane's name and finds out that she works in this building, so he suspects that the girl he saw in the desert was probably Jane. He is shocked. On the other hand, by checking the videos, Jane sees behavioral patterns in that attacker, which makes her sure he is John. After arriving home, the Smiths seem suspicious of each other. They both ask about each other's work and say they encountered problems during the day, but neither reveals the truth. Both are worried about each other's intentions and think the other is on a mission to kill. So John hesitantly eats his favorite food, boiled meat. He suspects that Jane might have poisoned the liquor, so he pours her a drink, then he drops the bottle and Jane takes it. With a little pause, she lets it go, and it turns out that she had conspired to kill him. They leave immediately on the pretext of finding something to clean the floor, but they intend to attack each other, so John prepares to attack her. Soon he realizes that Jane is fleeing in her car and immediately starts chasing her. While he follows her, Jane, who now sees him as her enemy, decides to run over him with her car, but John manages to get in.
Overreacting! Hey! You don't want to go to sleep angry. Let's not get carried away.
She cautiously throws herself out, and John has a big accident with a car without a driver.
We need to talk!
After that, he desperately joins his friend Eddie. He shares the situation with Eddie and says he no longer trusts her. Eddie also tries to change his view of Jane and explains that she has been gathering information all this time and might be listening to them now out of spite. On the other hand, Jane talks about him with her friend, and Jasmine tries to convince her that she never loved him, and now she has to kill him, and no one deserves it better than her. Eddie is also so suspicious of Jane that he thinks she is now eavesdropping on them and inciting John more against her, so that he picks up the deadly weapon to kill her. Each of them thinks in their privacy how it is possible that their partner decided to kill them after 6 years of living together, and this thought hurts both of them. The next morning, afraid of John's next move, Jane and a group of her colleagues search the house to find a clue about him, but still, Jane is upset that they are reviewing the videotape of their wedding and stops them. Soon, John returns home, and after searching, he realizes that all his weapon equipment is missing. So while he is very nervous, he decides to surprise Jane by attacking her office. When Jane learns about this attack, she immediately orders an emergency evacuation. The girls leave the building immediately with advanced equipment. At the last moment, John stops shooting at Jane, and she also runs away. He searches for a clue among the destroyed equipment while Eddie keeps prodding him to kill her. Since they both used to commit murders for security agencies, Eddie believes that his house is no longer a safe place for him. John gets a clue of their location and decides to attack that building. So when he gets there, he tries to go up the elevator. Still, he realizes that Jane is aware of his presence and has already disabled it. She warns him that he must leave the city or she will blow up the elevator right now. In disbelief, John refuses and provokes her to blow up the elevator. While Jane hesitates, one of her colleagues follows the plan and blows up the elevator.
You said goodbye? What the hell was that?
After the elevator falls from 70 floors, Jane gets out of the secret car in sadness, and seeing the condition of her face, it seems that she is not happy with his death. At the same time, John is smarter than this, and it turns out that he is alive, but he is angry that his wife is planning to kill him. Jane cries about his loss in a hotel, and moments later, John appears in front of her out of nowhere and informs her that he plans to get a divorce. They threaten to kill each other again, and John invites her to dance. While dancing, they start disarming each other. Then they blame each other for the upcoming events and stubbornly believe that their life together is just a cover for their business. She pretends to be upset about this, but a few minutes later, it turns out that she intended to escape with explosives. She even planted an explosive bomb on John's jacket. John realizes this and throws his coat in the trash before he gets damaged and starts chasing her. Then he calls her while driving and threatens to kill her again. In another call, John honestly asks her what came to their mind when they saw each other for the first time. He admits that he saw her as a beautiful Christmas morning, and Jane then confesses that she thought he was the most beautiful thing she'd ever seen and hangs up. They both arrive home at the same time, and as always, Jane stubbornly refuses to let him leave early, and as soon as she enters, she seems to have locked all the doors. John pretends to his neighbors that nothing happened to make everything look normal. While all the doors are locked, he has no choice but to enter through the upstairs room. Jane is armed and ready to shoot, and he takes out one of the guns he has already hidden, and they both prepare to attack each other. Incessant and fierce shooting starts, and they want to kill each other until the whole house is destroyed. Then, by disarming each other, they start a physical fight with each other and severely injure themselves. After a grueling fight, both point their guns at each other and face each other, but neither of them fires. Despite their request to kill each other, none of them are willing to kill the other because of their love for each other. They rekindle their love and spend dreamy moments together. After that, their make-love is interrupted by their neighbors, who inform the police because of the noise caused by the fight, and they make everything look good despite the mess in the house. Eating time, they start to reveal their secrets about their jobs. At the same time, it seems they are being watched by their agencies, and an attack will happen against them soon. While they are talking, the Smiths are attacked. After being stubborn in the type of action, they hurriedly escape basement and equip themselves with the weapons they had previously hidden. The attackers soon find their location and throw a grenade into the basement. John immediately moves it away so that the grenade is placed under a fuel tank, and there is such a big explosion that the whole house is lost. John and Jane, who survive the explosion, quickly steal their neighbor's van, and after killing the last attacker, they go on the road. It seems that their car was attacked by their respective companies, so somehow they may intend to destroy them. In a difficult and exciting dream, the Smiths finally remove one of the cars. Meanwhile, John admits he has been married once, angering Jane, so she wants to punish him. They continue to reveal their secrets and criticize each other's war tactics. However, they struggle to destroy the two remaining cars until Jane finally manages to destroy them in an incredible move. Then they went to Eddie and met him and talked to him about this incident. The situation shows that they have been attacked by a group, and Eddie assures them that the companies intend to destroy them. He warns that they can be separated and survive. Otherwise, they will surely die if they are together unless they do something for their agencies that is worth living. Mr. and Mrs. Smith decides to kidnap Benjamin for the survival of their marriage and use him to deal with their respective companies so that they can survive. To kidnap Benjamin, who is now an imprisoned criminal, John must survive the fight against 312 people, and this shocks him, so during the operation, he does not go according to the plan drawn by Jane and decides to act alone. She gets worried, but finally John manages to kidnap Benjamin and take him to the van after an explosion and kills the soldiers. Jane is upset that the operation didn't go according to her wishes, but they succeeded anyway. At a motel, he threatens to torture Benjamin if he doesn't talk. He is forced to reveal that both companies found out they were married, so they jointly hired him to turn the Smiths against each other. Since their marriage is against their interests, they intend to use this trap to encourage them to kill each other, and Benjamin is just bait for them. John discovers a tracker on his belt. Jane warns that they only have a minute before they arrive, so they immediately disappear. The Smiths hide in the sewers while the attackers search for them. Jane says she has hidden a boat in the plaza, and they can get out of the country through it, but John believes they should stay and fight and eliminate this threat forever. They take refuge in a home decoration store where they arm themselves and decide to make a last stand together against their agencies. In a tough fight, they fight side by side with sacrifice for their love. Despite the many injuries they see, they manage to defeat their enemies and eliminate all the attackers. In the end, they meet again with their marriage counselor and inform him that everything is going well and they plan to rebuild their house.